There's a ceiling in every coaching relationship, and most coaches don't know it's there until a client bumps into it. It's not about your credentials or your methodology, it's about how far you've been willing to grow yourself, because you can only take someone as far as you've gone personally. This video is about making sure that ceiling keeps moving up by adopting a growth mindset. Carol Dweck spent decades researching why some people push through challenges and others shut down. Her conclusion is it comes down to what you believe about your own capacity. A fixed mindset says your abilities are basically set. You're either good at something or you're not. Effort is what people do when they don't have natural talent. A growth mindset says your abilities are developable. Intelligence, skill, emotional range, all of it can really grow with the right effort and the right input. Now here's where it gets interesting for coaches. Most of us understand this concept well enough to probably teach it. We've read the book, we've used it with clients, but there's a version of fixed mindset that hides in plain sight, specifically in the coaching profession. And it doesn't look like giving up, it looks like playing it safe. Let me give you 3 places I see this show up and see if any of these land for you. The first one is skills. You might say, I'm not a business coach, or I'm not good at marketing, or I'm not a tech person. Now, it's fine to have a niche, but there's a difference between a clear focus and a ceiling that you've built for yourself. When I don't do that becomes I can't do that or I can't learn that, that becomes more of a fixed mindset. The second place is setbacks. A client doesn't renew, a launch underperforms, or a session kind of goes sideways. A coach with a growth mindset looks at that and asks, okay, what's the feedback here? A coach with a fixed mindset looks at that and says, I knew it. I knew I wasn't ready, or I knew I wasn't good enough. The event is the same, but the meaning is obviously completely different. Third place is comparison. You scroll through another coach's content and you think, man, they're so good. They're so articulate, polished, and growing fast. And something in you quietly says, you know what? They're better than me, and I'll never be that good. Well, that's the fixed mindset move showing up, treating someone else's success as evidence about your ceiling. The growth mindset move asks, okay, what are they doing that I can learn from? Not to copy, not to become them, to grow myself. And here's the truth. You can't take your client somewhere that you haven't been willing to go yourself. Not physically, but energetically, experientially, at the level of being present. And there's a ceiling in that. Your clients feel it, even if they can't quite name it. When you're coaching someone through a fear that you've never faced in yourself, it's really shallow and it doesn't quite resonate the way you want it to. However, when you're coaching someone through a fear, when you've done the work on it and it's no longer a problem for you, they absolutely feel it. They feel the depth and they feel the experience coming through. And the great thing about growth mindset inside the session itself is it shows up in the small moments. How do you respond when someone doesn't know the answer? Do you get a little defensive, maybe a little bit anxious, or pivot quickly and move on? Or do you get curious with them and with yourself out loud in real time? How do you handle it when you make a mistake mid-session? Do you quietly absorb it and pretend it didn't happen? Or do you model what it looks like to acknowledge it, learn from it, and keep going? Your clients are watching all of this, not to evaluate you. They're not really worried about you, but they're taking in the cues from you about what's allowed and what's okay inside the session. If you model growth, they'll give themselves permission to do the exact same thing. If you model self-protection, they'll probably follow suit, usually without even knowing why. So what does this actually look like in practice? Not just as a philosophy, but as a habit. Well, first, get coached regularly, not just at certifications, not just when something goes wrong. The coaches who grow the fastest are almost always the ones that stay in the client's seat. This keeps you humble, it keeps you sharp, and it gives you something that your clients can really feel, which is the lived experience of the process outside your lane. If you only consume coaching content, your thinking will start to flatten out. Read psychology, explore philosophy, study leadership, neuroscience, communication, history. The most interesting insights you'll bring to your clients often come from something that have nothing to do with coaching. And review your sessions, not to judge yourself, but to learn. What worked? What fell flat? Where did you play it safe when the client needed you to go a little bit deeper? This kind of honest reflection done without self-attack is one of the fastest ways to go as a practitioner. And keep investing in yourself, often before you even feel ready. That course you keep bookmarking, the ad you keep clicking on, the mentor you almost reach out to but never quite pull the trigger. Go ahead and do something about that. Get that domino rolling today, because growth mindset and practice means you stop waiting for certainty before you invest in yourself. And here's the reframe you want to keep in mind if you don't already have that there already. And that is that development isn't something that you do once in a while. It's something that you live, because you want to be the change that you want to see in the world. Because as you grow, your clients will get better results as well. It's that direct. The coach who keeps growing gives their clients something invisible but essential, and that is permission. Permission to not have it all figured out. Permission to be in the process. Permission to keep reaching because they see their coach doing exactly the same. Growth mindset for coaches isn't about striving harder or relentlessly optimizing yourself. It's about staying open to feedback, open to challenge, and open to the possibility that who you are today as a coach is not the ceiling, it's the floor. So here's a question I want to ask you. Where in your coaching life are you treating a belief like a ceiling? And what would it look like to get just a little bit more curious about that? Think about that and let me know in the comment section. That's it for this one. Until next time, develop yourself, empower others, and lead by example.